Anxiety over money, why we are stressed about money. There are two core reasons why money creates stress, and I'm going to share that with you shortly. But before I jump into that, it is important that I acknowledge that some people have phobias and clinical levels of anxiety, but that is not what I'm going to be talking about in this video. My favorite definition of stress is when demand placed upon you is greater than your capacity to perform. So stress becomes an emotional response to that feeling of incapacity, the lack of skills to handle the responsibility that is placed upon you. In my previous video, I talked about the 4 fear quadrants, and I shared that one of those core fears has to do with the fears we have around money, and that is basically coming down to 2 things: the fear of regret, something you did or something you did not do. The second fear around money has to do with the fear of responsibility. That is when you take up too much than you have the capacity to handle. So when you are stressed about money, it is coming from either the place of regret or the fear of responsibility around money. Now here is what I teach and explain about money. Everything about money comes down to 2 pillars. Pillar number 1 is the pillar of mathematics, and that has to do with the logical side of making, managing, and multiplying your money. The second pillar has to do with the pillar of meaning, which is the emotional side of handling your money and your finances. Most people focus on the mathematics of money, but research and experiences have shown that what drives your money habits, your money behaviors, are basically the meanings, the personal meanings you have around money and your finances. I mean, the meaning you attach to money. So if you want to understand why money stresses you out, look at this. I have already explained that stress is the emotional response to more responsibility, more demand placed on your capacity to perform, right? And I just explained that the emotional side and the meaning you have around money drives your behaviors, drives your money habits, drives your money attitudes, right? So if you don't have the emotional capacity to handle the responsibility that money places upon you, it's natural for it to create a lot of stress for you. It's natural for money, for your finances, to create a lot of worries for you. And here's the interesting thing. Money worries, money stress, financial anxiety usually stem from the place of you anticipating that you are going to fail or you are going to do badly. So that makes you tend to want to be anxious, depressed, or even stressed. So your anxiety over money, or your anxieties about money, and your stress about money comes down to the need you have for developing more capacity to handle the emotional and the meaning side of your finances, the meaning side of your money. Of course, the meaning drive the mathematics. So the meaning you have around money drive the mathematics, because the mathematics is basically your behaviors, is basically the things you invest in, the decisions you make, the choices you make. But of course, all the choices, whether you procrastinate on opportunities or you take advantage of opportunities, those are stemming from the place of the meaning and the emotions you have around money. Now you may be asking that, Dayo, what are these emotions you are talking about? Well, I'm talking about fear, power, freedom, fun, etc. But you know what? Many people who are stressed or worry about money usually have negative emotions around money. So in the next video, I am going to dive deep on that and share more with you about the different emotions we have around money and how you can handle that. So if you want to be notified when I publish that, hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification so that you can receive that. It was Ralph Waldo Emerson that said that fear defeats more than anything else in the world. And I believe that fear and anxiety contributes most to the worries you have around money. So if you can handle the fear once and for all, it becomes easier for you to make as much money you want to make, do as much more things you want to do with your money, and enjoy your life. As I always say, my goal here is to help you lead your life and business in the direction that matters. So here's my recommendation. Use fear as a warning sign rather than a stop sign, and let it lead you to become very curious about your finances rather than you want to pull away from your finances, from understanding your money worries. I must also mention that anxiety is the physical response to fear, when in fact fact, you don't need to be afraid. So it's important to access that feeling of fear to understand how that fear is motivating you or moving you, and the way that fear is influencing you. In my own experience, it is asking the question, does this feeling or the intensity of this feeling, does it fit the actuality, the original thing, the fact of the situation? If it does, then I know that it is telling me something important. These emotions are telling me something important. But if it doesn't, then I know that I need to walk through those emotions with some of the strategies that I deploy for myself and for some of my clients in order to reduce the intensity or the duration of that emotion, so that I can move my life and business forward. Once again, I am Dayo Samuel, and on the 25th and 26th of May, I'm going to be hosting a group of persons at the Fear Resolve process. Now, if you want to know more about the Fear Resolve process, you can check the link down below and you'll be able to read more about that, or you can simply go to audacitytolead.com/fear resolve. So click this video here in order to learn more about the Fear Resolve process, and click this video here to know how the wrong approach to fear can be detrimental to your emotional and mental and even financial wellness. Remember to lead your life and business in the direction that matters to you. I am Dayo Samuel, and I'm going to see you in the next video.